It gives me pleasure to introduce our distinguished resource person, Dr. Rajashekaran Selvaraju. Dr. Rajashekaran Selvaraju is a distinguished academician with over 2 decades of experience in the field of information technology. He currently serves as an academic registrar of the University of Technology and Applied Science, Ibri Sultanate of Umula, where he's been making valuable contributions since December 2012. He specializes in data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and software engineering. Dr. Selvaraju has made significant contribution to the field, including the development of a tool that utilizes machine learning techniques to identify breast cancer, showcasing his expertise in applying technology for impactful health solutions. His research and innovative work in AI and machine learning reflects his commitment to advancing both academic knowledge and practical applications. Dr. Selvaraju's work continues to inspire students and professionals in the field of information technology. Before joining IBRI, Dr. Selvaraju held the position of the head of the Department of Computer Science at Vivekananda College of Arts and Science for Women in Palayam, Tamil Nadu, India for 12 years. Throughout his career, he has gained profound expertise in computer science and information technology, demonstrating a commitment to excellence in both teaching and research. We are sincerely grateful to you, sir, for your time and for graciously accepting to be a part of this faculty development program. His extensive knowledge and experience will undoubtedly provide valuable insights to all of us. We are excited to have him on board and look forward to the impactful session he will lead. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening to one and all present here.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to all. It's my pleasure to be a speaker of this FDP on the topic Women in Cybersecurity and Disaster Management, which is organized by the Department of MCA and MBA of Srimati Indira Gandhi College. At this juncture, I would like to thank the Secretary, CEO, Director, Principal, academic directors of both the departments, faculty members of these departments, as well as the participants from other institutions. So it's my great pleasure and privilege to share my experiences and my knowledge, whatever I have gained in this field, with you people, with my colleagues, right? Because you are all teaching community. I would like to share my presentation. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Visible,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
This is Dr. Rajashekaran from Department of IT, College of Computing and Information Sciences, Utah Ibri, Oman. Today I'm going to share my knowledge on the topic cybersecurity threats and protection mechanism. We know, being a people, when the technology emerge, parallelly we have a lot of issues we are facing every day. Even when the people, those who are using social media, they will understand and they practiced a lot of issues, a lot of security threats. It's not only in social media, but the people, those who are using social media, may aware much information about the security and the need of security and cyber security threats. Actually, this is a very good topic chosen by the college and department management. I appreciate them for this. I would like to start my content here. The agenda or topic to be discussed, just introduction, what is security, because The people we all are not belongs to security. Even myself, basically, I'm not belongs to security. I'm data scientist, but I have some interest in this security field. That is the reason why I agreed to deliver. So I'll give you some introduction and cybersecurity threats, different types of cybersecurity threats, the AI involvement in cybersecurity. When AI introduced or AI technology introduced in cybersecurity, how we can save our life. The role of AI in securing networks, systems, and data. At the last, I would like to show you very few practical programs which is implemented in Python, will be very easiest way to keep your data safe. Like, people are feeling to develop security program is very much difficult, but it is not difficult. Even if you want to encrypt some text, it will be very easy to encrypt in Python, because Python provide a lot of libraries. I'm planning to discuss very simple one or two programs to explain how they are converting our plain text into ciphertext and again back to the plain text. So this is my agenda to discuss in this session. Hope the time will be enough to discuss everything. Cybersecurity is a set of practices used to protect our computer, server, mobile device, electronic systems, networks, and data. Because we need to secure everything, whatever we used electronically or electronic devices, and the data stored in the devices, everything must be secured. That is possible with the help of the cybersecurity mechanisms. So this is a practice used to protect your computers, servers, mobile device, electronic systems, networks, and data from malicious attacks. It is also known as, we can say with the different name, information technology security or electronic information security, because there are different terms which used earlier. Later they fixed with the term cyber security. Maybe in the future the names have been changed, because even when we are talking about the cyber security at this moment, there are so many people, they attack our systems, they create different idea, a different methodology to attack our systems. So it happens, so accordingly they will change the name in the future. Cybersecurity is the practice of same protecting systems, networks, programs from digital attacks. What is cyber attacks? Why the cyber attacks? The cyber attacks are aimed at accessing your information or changing your information or destroying, deleting the information. Their ultimate aim is something to access your valuable information. You may have some credentials like your bank account details, passwords. So they want to access those informations. Or you have some valuable programs, and you will get much benefit from that. They want to change your program. By changing something in your program, they will make the program is unusable, and sometimes they will destroy your device or your program completely, which you cannot be used. Or sometimes people will extract money from this with through the ransomware or interrupting normal business process. They will interrupt the normal business routine business work, because if in case a company with 1,000 employees, they are working, all are using computers or some electronic devices. Sometimes if the hacker attack your entire infrastructure, just imagine all 1,000 employee works will stop. So they could able to disturb your routine process. Everything is possible by hackers. So we have the cyber security mechanisms to provide a kind of security to escape from these kind of attacks. Cyber security applies a variety of contexts. See, the term cybersecurity used with a different name in different places, but everything is a kind of security, right? Means protecting your device or protecting your network or protecting your infrastructure, whatever it may be. It is a kind of security. Just I want to share those names what we used in earlier days. Network security is the practice of securing a computer network from intruders or from the hackers, whether the targeted attacks or attackers or opportunistic malware. See, they may be attacker, or maybe for some reasons they want to attack. Whoever may be, you need to provide your network, so you can provide some kind of firewalls or some kind of mm, any kind of security mechanisms you can apply. But you can provide your network to mm, protect from the attackers. Application security. This is focusing on the software and devices free of threats, because whatever application you have, may sometimes people will attack your applications. Means you, for whatever application we are writing some lines of codes, they will disturb this lines of code. Sometimes you may not able to even open your application, or even when you open the application, the operations will not be performed in a right way. Whatever operation the application will do, it may do something in a wrong way. They may change in your applications. So from this, if you protect, your application will be safe, that no one can change your application. That is what we called as application security. So it focuses on keeping software and devices free of threats. A comprised application could provide access to the data it's designed to protect. Because when in nowadays, whatever, because we all aware of these kind of attacks, and the importance of security. So when they develop applications, even they are developing applications for bank, every, so hypermarket, now they are developing applications. Every hypermarket, Lulu hypermarket, whatever it is, I don't want to specify the name. They developed some applications, they force the people to use applications. But when you are using, there is a possibility of stealing your information, because you are giving your mobile number, your email id, your personal informations. There is a possibility. So in the present days, whatever new applications they developed, they are providing security inbuilt with that applications. So the hackers could not be able to attack your application in an easiest way. Information security, which is protects the integrity and privacy of our data, both in storage and in transit. So because when you have information or data, it must be provided when you stored in your computer or any storage device. Also, when you transfer data between people in an institution, in an organization, obviously we forced to transfer data between the users. While transfer also, it should not be attacked by anybody. So you must provide in security during storage as well as transformation. Operational security, which includes the process and decisions for handling and protecting data assets. The permission users have when accessing a network, and the procedures that determine how and where data may be stored. All these things, how the data will be stored, where it will be stored, who can access, who can modify, these kind of clear picture should be there in in any institution or organization, and it should be controlled by the centralized team. Then only we can able to control all these operational security, and unauthorized persons might not be allowed to access your information. Disaster recovery and business continuity. So this is very important. Also, when you're talking about cybersecurity, you must understand this disaster recovery also. Why? Because when something happen accidentally, when somebody hack your institution system, or somebody hacks something where you are working, you cannot stop your work sometimes. See, for any individual work, yes, you can stop for one day, no issues. Sometimes when the public service or something which is important, I mean, the airline services, just imagine if they stop airline services, what will happen? How many people will depend on that, and their plan will be depends on that. If the flights are cancelled, it is very big loss for many people. So whenever any hacking hacker attack your system, the institution must have proper disaster recovery mechanism. When anything happen, how to manage the situation and run our business continuously. Always, this is part of our cyber security, because you are having so many security mechanisms, right? After all these levels of security mechanism, in any situation something may happen, it should be recovered, means the business should run continuously without any disturbance. For that, the business community must have the proper plan to run the business without any difficulty or hurdles. End user education, we know that we have system, and the top level management, they are talking about secured system, or they will provide a kind of security, everything is fine. Accidentally if something happened, the end user must aware, they must educate in some way. When the systems are hacked by the hackers, what they need to do, they should be teaching users to delete suspicious mail. Any suspicious mails they received, it should be deleted, they should not open. Not plug in unidentified USB drives, and various other important lessons is vital for the security of any organization. So because normally end user will not involve in this kind of security mechanisms, they will just come and work. That is their task. And we being a company or institution, we should educate end users when something happen abnormally, how they should react, and how they should support the company to provide this security. That should also be educated. This is the another kind of cyber security technique, because we have security techniques in case if it happens, what to do. I think we have a small video, just I would like to show you. Maybe I don't know whether I have time or not, but still I just wanted to show you something. Can you see the video, ma'am? Anyone can respond,
Yes,
please.
sir. Yes, sir.
Audio also clear, right?
Audio is not, it is not audible, sir.
Audio not there, sir.
Audio not there.
No, sir.
Maybe just you can listen and understand. I don't know what is the problem. Here I can hear the audio. So it's okay. I'll just explain the video what it says. Normally, we have so many accounts in different online platform. We are creating account, we are doing shopping, we are paying the payment through our bank account. Sometimes if there is any security leak, this will be hacked by the hacker. The hacker will collect money from you and they will not deliver any products. So this is what they would like to highlight. Someone, when you register anything over online, you must make sure that everything is perfect or not. Even nowadays, when we are going to publish our journal, our paper in a journal, I found there are so many journalists cloning means they use the very famous publisher name and their details with a similar sign, everything, and they shown as we are indexed in Scopus and you can publish our paper. But when we check, we have some mechanism here, our research department, they follow that. Even recently last week I came to know that one journal, they said we are in Scopus. I checked in the Scopus link also, they have shown everything, but still I got some doubt. Then I discussed with our research department and they found this is the hijacked journal and don't publish in that. So being an academician, you should also be aware about these kind of hijacking or hacking. People, they will ready to steal our informations or steal our money. So we should be aware before going to do something online. Yes, I agree with you. Whenever you go for technology oriented, we have these kind of security threats are there, but we should be very careful before using these kind of things. This is what even the video says. Let me continue my talk, what I want to discuss with you. The cyber security threats are the next topic which I'm planning. Cyber security threats. The threats are acts performed by individual with harmful intent, whose goal is steal your data, cause damage, or disturb your computer system. This is their task. They want to steal your data, or they want to damage your product or your files or your application, whatever it is, or disturb your regular work or your computer works. Common categories of cyber threats include malware, social engineering, man in the middle attacks, denial of service, injection attack. These are the major cyber security threats we have. There are different types because they are doing attack in a different way. Cyber threats can originate from a variety of sources, from hostile nation states and terrorist group to individual hackers. So the cybersecurity threats people originate from a group of people, I mean international terrorist group, or even from individual hackers to trusted individual like employees or colleague. I feel that my colleague is really very good person and I can share my passwords or something, but he may misuse these information. So we cannot say that this person may not be the hacker. So anyone can be the hacker. We should always, whenever you use electronic devices, we should keep in our mind anyone must be the hacker. So that you will protect your system in that way. Nation states, hostile countries can launch cyber attacks against local companies. So it's a country launch the cyber attacks to the company or institution, aiming to target that particular institution. They want to disturb their work, or they want to steal their data, or they want to get some money or benefit from them. So there may be so many reasons. So the industry or company may I mean the nation states means international criminals, they may launch attack against a particular company or institution. Terrorist organization, we know that people may aware about the terrorist. These terrorists may conduct a cyber attacks aimed to destroying or abusing some critical infrastructure. Maybe they want to steal the government public informations, some confidential informations, threaten national security. Sometimes they, you know, that the normally the terrorist, what they will do, they will threaten always against the national security. Disturb economies, obviously the terrorist will disturb our economy also, and cause bodily harm to citizens. So sometimes they will harm the citizens also. So these are the attacks done by the terrorist organization. Sometimes criminal groups, some people, group of people can do this. Organized group of hackers aimed to break your computer system for economic benefit. So they will hack your system and they will claim money for that. If you don't give money, you are not allowed to use your system. If you don't use your system, you will not get profit from that. Because you know, any company or any industry nowadays, because of the development of technology, most of the company or industry, they moved towards automation, means they introduced computers to do everything. When people hack your computer, means your work will stop and you will not get any benefit. Obviously, when these criminal groups, when they demand, they hack your computer or they hack your system, they demand for money. We forced to give money sometimes. This is the reason these kind of criminal groups are working. These are the common sources: nation states, terrorist organization, criminal groups, hackers, individual hacker. This is individual person target organizations using a variety of attack techniques. They are usually motivated by personal gain, revenge. Maybe sometimes I was working in the institution, the work institution was not doing something favor to me. I can revenge, I can take revenge on that institution. So I just wanted to hack their informations. Or financial gain, to gain the financial commitment, I can do this hacking. Or political activity. Even nowadays, you know, Indian political, some of the movies will explicitly, deliberately tell you that the political deviations, how they hack the systems, how they disturb their work, everything. So hackers often develop a new threats, because you know, we cannot predict if the similar threats have been introduced every time, means we could able to understand easily. So every time they are thinking and they are creating new kind of threats, and they will start hack your system to advance their criminal ability and improve their personal standing in their hacker community. Because and you know, being a computer scientist, every year we are developing some new technology, new applications will be developed to stand in the society, to survive well. We are developing so many things. Similarly, the hackers also, to stand in their community, that stating that I am the biggest hacker, they are developing new kind of hacking methodologies every time. And malicious insider, this is another important thing. Employee who has legitimate access to company assets and abuses their privilege. I am the employee of our university. I have full rights to access all the information. If I decided myself to steal some of the information from the institution, just think about, because the institution or organization believes you and they appointed you as an employee, but you are not a truth employee and you want to take some information or even complete information, you want to take it, you want to give it the opposite company, opposite institution, to gain benefit for that institution. So this is possible. This is a kind of malicious insiders, those who are working in the institution or company, they are doing some kind of hacking or some kind of stealing your content and distributing to some. They can also be outsiders who have compromised a privileged account and or impersonating its owner. This malicious sometimes will be insider, they mean working in the company, or maybe from outsiders, they are maybe your clients or something like that. So these are the different sources of cyber threats. Next, types of cyber security threats: the malware attacks, social engineering attacks, supply chain attacks, man in the middle attacks, denial of service attack, injection attack. There are so many. Just I wanted to highlight much important security threats. What is malware attack? Malware is an abbreviation of malicious software, which includes viruses, worms, trojans. We know people, those who studied cybersecurity, they know about all these terms, spyware and ransomware, and it is the most common type of cyber attack. Malware infiltrates a system usually via link or an untrusted website or email. Some kind of mode they will share the malware. I mean, that is also a software, a small code. They will share the code in through some way, email or any kind of mode. Some unwanted software will be downloaded. Nowadays when you are browsing data from the website, you see in parallel there are so many websites, or so many advertisements will be there. Mistakenly, if you open some advertisement, sometimes these kind of malware will be downloaded in your system, and it will start affect your system's performance, or it will control your systems, because some hackers from outside, they will take control of your computer and they will do everything, whatever they want to do. In malware, there are different types of attacks, like viruses. This is a piece of code injects itself into the application. Just a small piece of code that will be inserted into your application. When it insert into your application, obviously your application code will not be executed properly, and the malicious code will start execution, and they will do whatever they want. Worms, it is also a kind of malware that exploits software vulnerabilities and backdoors to gain access to the operating system. So they will not directly enter using username and password to your computer. They will find a way through backdoor to enter into your computer to access everything. Once installed in the network, the worm can carry out attacks such as distributed denial of service. So once the worm is attacked in your computer, from your computer, no services will be provided. Everything will be denied or stopped. This is the impact of worms. Trojans is another kind of malware attack, which is because all malware attacks are software code only, nothing. It is an innocent program hiding in apps, a small program which is hidden inside the apps, because we are downloading so many applications from so many websites. And in nowadays people are using smartphone. You may see in smartphone how many applications are there. They have some game applications, they have some kind of government applications, like applications, or TNEB applications. Many things are there. So uh, these kind of trojans are a small code will be hiding inside the apps, and when you install the app, automatically this trojan also will be installed, and it will start monitor your computer, and it will hack your informations, what is there in the computer or mobile phone, whatever it is. Ransomware is a very dangerous one. A user or organization is denied access to their own systems. For example, even I have a business, I have my own systems. I'm using the system to develop to do my business. Sometimes the attacker or hacker can hack my systems through this ransomware. Then they typically demand for the money. You have to pay this much amount. If you will not pay, we will not release your code. It happens most of the countries, many places, in many organizations. It happens. Sometimes they hack their system and they demand for the money. Obviously we have to pay money. Even some government organizations also, they paid money for this ransomware. If you will not pay money, they will not release your code and you are unable to access it. Cryptojacking. This is attackers developed software on a victim device and begin using their computing resources to generate cryptocurrency without their knowledge. See, the cryptojacking, without my knowledge, they will add some code in my computer. They will use my computer for to generate these cryptocurrencies. These are the recent developments. Spyware, it is a malicious actor gain access to an unsuspecting user's data, including sensitive information, your passwords, bank informations, that some personal informations will be hacked. Adware, as I discussed with you before, because we are using social media and all other websites, everywhere now you can see so many advertisements. Mistakenly, if you click the advertisement, that advertisement will install the software which has the which will attack your system or your device, and it will hack. The hackers can access your computer through that advertisement. Then fileless malware, rootkits. There are so many, because I don't want to waste my time here. There are so many types of malware attacks which we have discussed: virus, worms, trojans, ransomware, cryptojacking, spyware, adware, fileless malware, rootkits. There are many things. The next type of security threat is social engineering attack, which involves tricking users into providing an entry point. See, they will create interest among the student, I mean among the public. They will create interest, they will motivate you to use something. I mean, if you see, even normally we received emails that you got this much dollar price. If you want to claim this, you share your bank accounts. You might have received these kind of emails from many people. I mean, nowadays they have different versions of this social engineering attacks, and they are sending so many kind of emails to the people. To create interest among the people, to motivate the people to use, because you have this gift. So when people see that we will get this gift at free of cost, we start proceeding this. When you start proceeding this, now even 1 or 2 months before, we heard even in many newses, right? uh, this kind of cyber security, the cyber attack was there. They asked the address that they will send some kind of some gift or something like that. They gave the address, it is finished after 5 days or 10 days. The gift is packed and sent to you. You have to pay this much amount to get it. And when the person paid, they hacked their account number, everything also, and they took all the money from their account holders. Like these kind of attacks we cannot stop. So we should be aware on all those things, and we should always away from those things. The social engineering attacks also have several different types. Baiting: the attacker lures a user into a social engineering trap, usually with the promise of something like, you will give this much attractive gift. They will speak with you in a kind way. They will speak their speech, you it will attract the user. So obviously you will be hacked by them. Pretexting: similar to biting, the attackers pressure the target into giving up information under false pretense. Like they said they are police officer, or they are some higher official. They want some information from you. They will force you to give your information. This is also happened. This is pretexting. And phishing: the attacker sends email pretending to come from trusted source. So they feel that they will send email to many people, and you feel that the information or email received from the trusted source. But phishing often involves sending fraudulent emails to as many as users as possible, but can also be more targeted. See, they have some target, but they will share many people who will respond to their email, and accordingly they will find and they hack the people. Even nowadays we know that our Facebook accounts, there are many people's Facebook account is hacked. They create the similar account with their picture, something like that, and they send friend request to their friends. Those who simply accepted, immediately they send that, I am in urgent, I need some money or something. We know those who are using social media, these conversations where every day we can see this kind of attacks. So you should be very careful again in this. Wishing: This is also voice phishing. The imposter uses a phone to trick the target. They will call you and they will speak with you. Even here in Oman, we got so many calls nowadays that they want our ATM card numbers, all those things. Like this is voice phishing. This voice phishing, particularly, they concentrate on uneducated women's and old age people. Even one of my neighbor who was here, she is not educated. I mean, not much educated. Even to 1 week before, she received a message from his relative in WhatsApp, the same WhatsApp number. She received a message that I need some money. Then she said, I will check with your uncle and I will transfer to you. He said, I want it immediately, something like that. And meanwhile, the actual person called her and they found somehow they were aware. But normally, these people, they are targeting women. So because our topic is women, I just wanted to highlight this. Women's security is more important. They are easily attracted for many things. I'm sorry to say this. Women are easily attracted by many things. If they show something attractive, people will be attracted and they will transfer the money for. So this voice phishing is very important. They will call and they will they will hack your informations. Smishing is SMS phishing. They will use text message as a means of communication to do hacking. Piggybacking, and authorized users provide physical access to another individual who piggybacks off the user's credential. For example, we have seen this in some movies also. When you use ATM machine, they will watch your password and what number you have used. After that, they will go and they will do the same thing, or some these kind of stealing or usual nowadays. And when any new employee joined in your company, before they get access, you may share your credential to ask them to use it, but they may misuse your credential. That is happen. And tailgating, as an unauthorized individual follows an authorized users into a location. For example, by quickly slipping in through a protected door after the authorized users. If the door is authorized, I just use my ID card, open. When I enter, suddenly someone also entered in the door. It happens sometimes. In some, even our university places, sometimes it happens because we have all doors are closed. We have to use our ID card. When I open the door, before I enter, someone will come and they will enter into. This is what we call tailgating. But we cannot we cannot stop these things. At the same time, we should not suffer. We should be very careful where we are going, where we are using our credential. We must be very secure and safe. Supply chain attacks. This is also a new type of threat to software developers and vendors. What they are doing, the purpose is to infect legitimate applications and distribute malware via the source code. When the software developer develop the new application, they will install this kind of malware in the source code. And whoever using that applications, they can hack those devices. So the attackers are looking for non-secure network protocols, server infrastructure, and coding techniques. Use them to compromise, build, and update process. So sometimes these kind of supply chain attacks, the vendor might not aware that their application is hacked. This also happen because they will hack the customer's detail. Once the customer identified that my details are hacked, then they can complain through this application it is hacked. By the time only the vendor will come to know what is the situation. So there are so many things that the type of cyber supply chain attack is compromise of build tools. They build this kind of hacking in development pipelines, or compromise of code signing procedures. It will be implemented in developer accounts. Malicious code sent to automated updates to hardware or firmware components. It will automatically update. and malicious code for pre-installed in the physical devices. It is automatically installed because during the development stage the code will be installed. The next type of threat is man in the middle attack, which involves interacting the communication between two endpoints. Man in the middle. So there are two users, they are communicating with each other. In between, someone will hack your conversation or hack your information which you are passing between. This is what we call man in the middle attack. It involves intercepting the communication between two endpoints, such as a user and an application, maybe, or two users, or two applications. Anything may happen. The attacker can eavesdrop on communication, steal sensitive data, and impersonate each party participating in the communication. So, yani, if I communicate with my friend, in between the hacker will hack this tra- mm, line and they will stop me. They will not allow me to communicate. The hacker will communicate with my friend on behalf of me, and I'm not aware what message he transferred to my friend. This is what man in the middle. Even here also we have different techniques like Wi-Fi eavesdropping, email hijacking, and DNS spoofing. I mean domain name server spoofing, IP internet protocol spoofing, IP address hacking, HTTPS spoofing. Because there are so many protocols we are using, they can hack all these things. Next one is denial of service. This is also we have discussed what is denial of service. They will hack your system. They will stop the functioning of your computer. Attack overloads the target system with a large volume of traffic, hindering the ability of the system to function normally. An attack involving multiple devices is known as denial of service attack. In denial of service attack also we have HTTP, flood DOS, SYN flood DOS, UDP user datagram protocol, ICMP, and the NTP network type. There are many different protocols are there. In each and every protocol, these kind of attack will be there, because we are, even being a computer scientist, they are developing different kinds of protocols to provide more security, but the hackers are more intelligent than the developers, so they developed a new kind of hacking methods to hack all the new developments. Very simple hacking technique which I would like to share with you here. DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Any company or anywhere, even you go for shopping mall or even any common places nowadays, Wi-Fi is unavoidable and it is a more important thing. So many places there is a Wi-Fi network. Whenever you go, you will show interest to connect the Wi-Fi. It is quite nature among the people. So see here you have DHCP server, and from here whoever want to connect this Wi-Fi, they will give a request and it will provide IP address to connect. So first there are many users like user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. Like when I want to join, I don't know who will be the server. So I send request to everybody. I send request, see the new user, send request to everybody. I want IP address. But being the user, he cannot give any IP address because he is also a similar kind of user. He got Wi-Fi connected and he used the system. And he cannot do anything. But when a new user give request, the hacker also will join in the Wi-Fi as one of the user. Now we have user 1, user 2, they are normal users, and this is the hacker. When the new user want to join with this Wi-Fi, who send a request to all other users, because he do not know who will be the server or who will provide the IP address. He will send request to all the people. By the time, if the server has the IP, because there are some limited number of IP address each server has. If it has enough number of IP address, it will share to the new user, and new user will be connected. Sometimes what this hacker will do, the hacker will request to the server to get all the IP addresses. See, he will send many requests. Like 10 requests he sent, he collected all the 10 IP addresses. When he collected all the IP addresses, whenever any new user come and give a request, the server may not have any extra IP address to provide the new user. So com it will keep it will not share anything because it doesn't have any IP address to share with the new user. By the time the hacker, what he will do, he will share the IP address what we have, because he collected all the IP address. He sent many requests to the server and he collected all the IP address. All the IP address hold by the hacker now. Whenever any user want to join, instead of IP address provided by the server, this hacker will provide IP address to the new user, through which the hacker could able to access the new user device. So he can access the new user credentials, everything. This is a kind of hacking, and he can even stop accessing the computer by the user. This is also happen. There are another injection attacks which exploit the variety of vulnerability. Injection means some new things will be added with your existing program. That's what injection, adding something, inject something. Exploit a variety of vulnerabilities to directly insert malicious input into the code of a web application. Successful attacks may expose sensitive information, execute a DOS attack, or compromise. See, the injection attacks many things. SQL injection. We know normally most of our applications, they use SQL queries to retrieve information from the database. Without SQL query, we cannot retrieve any information from our database. So they use SQL injection. They will inject their own code instead of the regular SQL code, and they will access our database. Code injection, as an attacker can inject code into the application if it is vulnerable, right? OS command injection. Directly they can inject something in the operating system. They can able to access my computer operating system, or they will execute the operating system what is there in my computer. LDAP injection, it is an attacker input characters to alter LDAP queries. Whatever LDAP queries are there, the query will be altered. Obviously your system will deliver false information. Similarly, XML, you know what is the use of XML. Through XML code you can able to directly access the website, any websites. If they made some changes in the XML code, you will be redirected to access the hacker website, and you share your personal informations. They can misuse your informations. Cross-site scripting, also similar kind of XML, but here they used JavaScript to hack your informations. So these are the kind of security threats. Against these things, you should protect your computer. Where very basic things you need to do. How can business and individual guard against cyber threats? Update your software and operating system frequently. You must update it. This means you benefit from the latest security patches, because every version, whenever they release the new application, there is a kind of security mechanism according to the latest threats. So if you keep update your software, possibly you have the advanced version of security mechanism, and the hackers could not able to access your system. Use some kind of antivirus software which will restrict the hacker programs, all those things. Use always strong password. No one can guess your password, or they cannot predict your password. Do not open email attachment from unknown senders. Do not click on links in emails from unknown centers or unfamiliar websites. Avoid using unsecure Wi-Fi networks in public places. So these are the very simple steps to protect your data and device in a safe way. This is one part. The next part which I would like to share is AI in cybersecurity. which is very important nowadays. People know about the technology of AI. AI make the system to um, decide by themselves based on the situation. So, artificial intelligence in cybersecurity refers to use of machine learning, deep learning, and other AI technologies to protect your system, network, and data from cyber threats. Yani, previously, we have a kind of security mechanism which is installed in your application. That's it. But here, this artificial intelligence enabled cybersecurity will provide a high quality of security mechanisms on your networks or data, all those things. The goal of this AI security is to identify, prevent, and respond to advanced cyber attacks. Even the attackers use advanced technique. The AI methodology will easily identify, prevent, and to respond these things. The role of AI in security: when you use this AI technology in security, you can automatically detect the threats because artificial intelligence will automatically find. We know that AI can process large values of data in real time to detect unusual patterns. In a company, we know the regular pattern what we are using. If any unusual pattern comes, being a human, it's very difficult for me to monitor 24 into 7. But AI will work 24 into 7. It will identify or detect the threat or hacker easily. Predicting future attacks. Sometimes, the machine learning. What is the advantage of machine learning? Machine learning technology will predict for the future. Like we if you have past 5 years rain statistics, with this data your system will learn what situation we get rain, how much rain we get in every time. Based on that, the system will decide few for the future, for next month how much rain will be expected. So similarly, uh, this AI enabled cybersecurity will identify or analyze the historical data, past data, and attack patterns. Whatever patterns of attacks we have before, AI can predict the future cyber attacks. What kind of attacks will be there in the future? So then responding to incidents, AI powered system can autonomously respond to certain type of threats. Sometimes any threats attacks, the AI system will respond automatically. We no need to involve, reducing the response time, minimizing the damage. When AI involves, automatically the damage will be less. AI technique, again, machine learning and deep learning. What is machine learning? What is deep learning? But how this machine learning will be helpful for security? Algorithm that learn from data to identify patterns and make decisions. That is machine learning technique. The algorithm will learn from the data what we have, and it predict for the future or make the decision. In cybersecurity, machine learning can be used for anomaly detection and fraud detection. So the fraud can be detected by the machine learning algorithm itself. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning using neural networks with many layers. It helps the people to identify even the complex hacking technique, also very complex hacking pattern also be identified by the deep learning. And zero-day vulnerability means, we will discuss what is zero-day vulnerability, because before causing more damage, the problem will be cured by the AI. We know what is natural language processing, NLP in security, because the pattern should be understand through NLP what kind of work is going on in the company, what kind of data will be transferred. When you use this NLP, these analysis will be there. See, detecting phishing email, because we are receiving emails routine from some people. When you get new email from others, it will identify that is phishing email. Malicious content in messages and analyzing large volume of unstructured data. All these things will be done by NLP, which automatically and easily identify the threats also. Behavior analysis, user and entity behavior analytics. AI can track normal user behavior and detect deviations from typical pattern. So because AI will monitor every user behavior who are working in that. When any new pattern is coming, it will identify easily and it will understand this is the threat. Also, it will identify the network traffic analysis and block the unauthorized access. Advanced persistent threats. It's prolonged targeted attacks often carried out by sophisticated adversaries, because sometimes these kind of advertisement error, all those things will be handled by AI technology and it will solve easily. So much important, this is zero-day attacks. What is zero-day attack? Even sometimes the attack is there, the hacking is there. AI will try to solve the issues in a 0 day, means before cause significant damage, before a loss. AI will solve the issue as fast as possible. The benefits of AI in cybersecurity: speed and efficiency. When you use artificial intelligence technology, obviously the speed will be increased, means the system will find out the threats easily. Even if it is attacked, that will be cued as fast as possible, or as fast as than the human beings. Scalability. AI systems can handle massive volume of data and network traffic, providing better protection for large organizations. Even because in the large organization, we need to provide huge security. But this AI system, since it is handling huge amount of data, it could provide the security. Reduced human error. Obviously, when human involved in this kind of security mechanisms, yes, there is a mistake, there should be the mistake. But when you implement AI technology in cybersecurity, it reduces the human errors. Definitely there will not be the human error, and obviously the performance of security will be increased. Also, 24/7 monitoring. AI can provide continuous monitoring and protection, which is essential for detecting and mitigating threats. Because if you work only for daytime, sometimes people will hack your system during night. So we need to have 24/7 monitoring. For that, AI is a better choice to monitor your computers. False positive, these are the challenges. False positive, yes, I agree. Sometimes AI or machine learning algorithm will give you the false information, false positive information, but still that will not impact much. And fine tuning of AI models, those who learned machine learning techniques, they will understand very clearly. You have some data, you want to make your machine to learn from the data. We have different models to learn. When you use one model to make your system learn, you check the performance of the result. If the performance is above 90%, means your system learned, your model learned in a right way, and you can go ahead with that to make the future decisions. In case your results are less than 90%, sometimes 60%, 50%, I'm sure that this is not the right method and your system is not learned in a proper way. You have to use a different model. That's why they said fine tuning AI models. Use different models to make your system learn. So in any one of the model, ultimately your system will provide the perfect result. So then that will be used to solve this false positive challenge. Adversarial AI attacks. Cyber criminals can also use AI. Sometimes criminals also use AI to detect or launch sophisticated attacks against AI driven security. I provide AI driven security. That means it is a good security system. Criminals also use AI to attack my AI driven security system. It happens. And what we have to do, we have to develop more secured AI models to increase your security. That is the only way. Data privacy, AI system in cybersecurity may require access to sensitive data, raising concerns about privacy, because normally they want to concentrate only on the secured or sensitive information. Implementing robust encryption mechanism. Yes, implementing encryption mechanism is very easy in Python. When you use Python, you can able to do, because you see there are so many encryption algorithms are there. In Python, we have built-in library. All the algorithms are implemented easily. You can use it directly. So if you want to become a cybersecurity specialist, it is very easy to learn the security model, cybersecurity library in Python. Then feature of AI in cybersecurity. What are the feature of AI? Obviously, we have a very good feature of AI in the cybersecurity, which provide autonomous security systems, no need to involve any human. Automatically, the AI system will provide security for your computers, your data, everything. The development of fully autonomous AI system that cannot only detect and respond to threats, but also autonomously take proactive security action. See, it will not detect and respond. It will do actions. When anybody want to attack you, what you will do? You will just stop them. Similarly, your computer will stop them. Your AI driven security system will stop the hackers, and it will not allow them to enter into your computer. Integration with other technology. Through AI, you can integrate with many other technology like blockchain and IoT. There are many things can be incorporated. Evaluation of threats. AI in offensive cybersecurity. AI technology evolved. The same AI tool used for defense could be repurposed for offensive cybersecurity strategies also. The role of AI in securing network systems and data. For securing, we use threat detection. For threat detection, we can use automatic threat identification. Machine learning techniques can be used to analyze and detect which is threats. Then predicting and preventing attacks. Proactive defense, anomaly detection. We discussed those things. So to prevent attack also, we can use this AI technology. For immediate real-time response, whenever hacker will attack your system, the system AI technology will immediately give response to the attackers, and it will not allow them to access. Malware and virus detection. If any malware and virus are infected in your computer, this AI will be identified and removed immediately. Securing data, it provides more security because AI systems are used to ensure that sensitive data is protected by monitoring access pattern. Who are all the people can access your data? Only based on the access pattern it will find out. Because if the access pattern is varied, which means some hackers are trying to access your data, it will identify easily. Fraud prevention and securing IoT devices is much important, and it is possible through AI. Continuous monitoring and maintenance. AI will continuously monitor your data, your system, your applications, everything. It will do maintenance also, means no one can attack your system. This AI will give you 24/7 vigilance. It will continuously monitor. If anyone will try to attack your system, it will immediately stop them, or some kind of security mechanisms it will provide. Now I will just go with one simple program to show you how how you can just convert your actual test into ciphertext. See now, in Python, just I want to execute one or two programs, very simple programs to understand. Because many people, they feel that Python is very difficult. It's not difficult. even I cannot go with the basics. It will take more time, but I will start with the just one cryptography program. This is the module. Cryptography is the module, and Farnet is the one of the function, one of the class defined inside the module. There are many classes under the cryptography. To encryption, I'm using this Farnet library. So this will be imported from this module, import Fernet. So from this module, import Fernet class. What is the use of this Fernet class? This Fernet class will helps you to translate your data, because during transformation of data from one place to another place, there is a possibility of that midman attack. There are many things. They will hack your transmission line and they will understand what data you are transferring. So what you have to do, you can convert your data into unknown format. That is what we called as cryptography. So here I have to generate the key first. Key equal to the Fernet module name, Fernet dot generate key. Generate key is a method which is defined in the class Fernet. So class name dot generate key will generate the 32-byte key value. And this key will be set with this Fernet class. Fernet is the object which I am creating equal to. Fernet is the class name, and I am passing the key, because this key is used to convert your actual data, means plain text, into ciphertext. So now I just to take one text, plain text. This is a secret message. Just I'm taking the text. This is a secret message. This is a plain text. Actually, for this, it must be in the binary format, though. So I'm using D in front of it, which means the data is in the binary format. It will take. Now, very simple step to encrypt. I just to take the data, and the data will be passed. The data is plain text. That data will be passed to the encrypt method. So when you pass the data to encrypt method, this will already, the key is set with this Fernet. So the Fernet will convert your plain text. The actual data is the plain text, convert into unknown format, and that value will be returned. That is stored in the variable ciphertext. Ciphertext is the unknown format. You know that, being a teacher. And here, I just would like to display the ciphertext. Again, see, this is my ciphertext. Whatever the message which I have shared is, this is a secret message. I can able to read it easily. But the ciphertext which is generated by the function is something different. I cannot read. I cannot even understand what is there in that. So this is how you can able to encrypt your data in a different format. And you want to again decrypt, you can use the decrypt method. So what you have to do, if you want to transfer, you should convert into ciphertext and transfer the ciphertext data to the recipient people. Then the recipient use this decrypt function to revert back the original message. So in the decrypt, if I pass ciphertext, it will convert into the actual message, and that will be stored in the decrypted message. If I print the decrypted message, that will be printed. This is the secret message. So it's very simple steps. Just import the library, generate the key, set the key with the Fernet object, and take your plain text, call encrypt method to convert into ununderstandable format. Then again, you want to decrypt, use decrypt method to get back to your original text. This is a very simple program. So if you want, I will run once again. So the original text, you can change your original text and you check what will be the output. Just I write my name. I will run. See, my name is very small, but my encrypted text is huge and I cannot understand what text is this. But when you again do decrypt, you will get the actual message. Very simple program. This is how you start practicing your security programs. mostly you can learn it easily. It's not much difficult. I have another program which is another algorithm, reverse string. Reverse string, actually you want to share some data, you convert your data into reverse format. For example, if I want to transfer hello, hello will be translated into OLLEH, just in the reverse format. This is a kind of technique to encrypt your data. So taking data is very easy. Get input, enter your string. It will be stored in INSTR. Reverse string is very easy in Python compared with other programming languages. You know, in C, C++, Java, you have to write some kind of loop statements or something to reverse. But here, the variable name of colon -1, it will display from last to first. This is called as string slicing. Maybe people, those who use Python, they may aware. The colon, first colon represents the start value, second colon represents end value, the third one represents the step value. Since I didn't give the start and stop value, only the step value is given, -1, which is starting from the last to first. Last one, previous. So it will display OLLEH. Even for the next run, if I change with other name, welcome, see, it will be displayed in the reverse. So this kind of simple program will convert your plain text into ciphertext. Like this is actually reverse string algorithm. We have another technique also there, Caesar cipher. This is a next algorithm, Caesar cipher algorithm, which is also convert your plain text into ciphertext. You know, maybe most of the people aware of Caesar cipher algorithm. What is this? If I use the letter A, if the key is 1, it will be the previous letter, means A will be converted into Z. If I use B, the B will be converted as A. I mean, the key value is 1 means it will be the previous character. It will be converted into the previous character. So if I use J, I mean, I type my input is J. My input is J. But I just use the key 3, which means it will display 3 characters before. 1 means I, 2 means H, 3 means G. J will be converted into G. Like that, each character in my input will be converted into this way, and it will generate the ciphertext. So here I have one example. Enter the input to Caesar cipher. Coor is my input. When I give the key 0, there is no change in my input. Same input I will get, KHOOR, so KHOOR. In case if I use key 1, what do you mean by key 1? The K will be translated to its previous character. Means in alphabetical order, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. So K will be converted into J, its previous character, so which is J. And H will be converted into its previous character G. So H will be converted into G. O will be converted into its previous character N. So 2 times O, it will be 2 times N, like that. In case your key is 2, key value is 2, 2 characters before. So K will be converted into I, and H will be translated into F. Like that, you know, those who learned this Caesar cipher, they know this. But implementing Caesar cipher in Python is not much difficult. So this is the letters, sample letter, because I want to convert. That's why I'm using the letters here. And this is my input. And I'm using for loop 26 times. I have to repeat from 0 to 26 because I have 26 characters. And if P is greater than 0, I just wanted to display P minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And accordingly, it will take letters dot index of -1, modulo division 26. So it will calculate the encrypted letter, and the encrypted letter will be printed here. So this is another approach. But these things, being a user, I am writing the program to implement the algorithm. This is one kind. Being a user, you can able to write the program. See, I am not using any module. I am writing the program. Even here also, I am not using any module. Whereas in the first step, I mean first program in cryptography, I used built-in modules to write the program, which is very easy. Just you can use the functions. Similarly, I have RSA encryption algorithm. In the RSA algorithm also, you can use RSA module, import RSA module. We have RSA module, we have all the same encrypt function, decrypt function to encrypt the data and to decrypt the data. So in Python, we have all the built-in modules, which is very easy, and you can access everything. I mean, you can develop any kind of program in an easiest way. That is the reason why I preferred everyone to learn Python for developing any kind of, not only security programs, even you have, if you want to develop web pages, you want to develop some standalone applications or any kind of programs, there is no point at all. You can develop everything easily because it has so many libraries in it, and it will help you to develop a complex program in an easiest way. So this is import RSA, and you can generate public key and private key with the help of new key method. There are different arguments. By default 1024, you can use 2048, 4096, which is public key. That key will be passed to the recipients as a sign with the help of the sign method, and the recipient can verify the message, and if the message is correct, it will say accept. If the message is wrong, it will say reject. Like that, you can able to develop, because this is not a very difficult program. We can use all the built-in libraries to execute this code. So whatever message you give, hello message I have given, it is converted into ciphertext. Can you imagine, is it hello? It's very big content, right? And the signature will be added. In this signature, the public key will be transferred to the recipient. The recipient will translate, I mean, revert back the encrypted message by using this signature, and they will get the original message. Once they get the original message, they said message is verified. Like, so this is the public key and this is the signing message, because the signing message has the public key, and they will encode it. If it is correct, verified, that will display the verified message. So this is what I would like to share with you, some of the programs, and even some videos are there. Maybe the time is up, I don't want to extend, and there are some references which I have mentioned. I would like to thank all of you for your patient listening. May you have any questions, you can clarify. And being a people, I mean academician, you should create awareness among your students to keep safe of their devices, their data, when they are, because nowadays everybody using smart devices, everybody using internet. So they should not share their informations or valuable informations to everywhere. They will get affect on this. So being a teacher, we should instruct our students to keep safe and to keep their information safe by teaching them these kind of security mechanisms and threats, all those things. Thank you everyone for your patient listening. Thanks the management for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot. Now the door is open to you.
Sir, can you mention few research areas on AI in cybersecurity?
The same thing, ma'am, what we discussed before. You can find out. See, you have, maybe for example, if you collect the past threats, you make the machine learning model to identify the future threats. This is one kind of projects you can develop. The other one, maybe using NLP, you can learn your system, what is your routine work, and who are the people access the data. in which format they access the data. NLP is very good to understand the patterns, everything. And your system will learn from through the NLP that these are the patterns of accessing the data. Suddenly, when someone accesses in a different way, you can identify that this is the threats. Like in this way, you can develop many kind of projects to protect your system, your institution, or your organization's data, everything. Also, they nowadays IoT is a very booming technology. You can incorporate this AI with IoT, because even still in IoT we are lagging of security, but still we need to concentrate much on security with IoT enabled AI security mechanisms. That will, you think some idea in that area, maybe you will get more informations to do your projects.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, my question is when developing or designing an AI-powered cybersecurity solutions in an organization, what are
Okay.
the main key ethical concerns that every organization should consider, sir?
Key ethical, we know every institution or organization have the ethics, right? What to be done, who can access the data, and it should be monitored by central power. That central power, you should keep this AI instead of human. Every who can access your data and up to what extent they can access. Maybe even you can keep some restrictions according to timing. Maybe they can access during the working hours, or non-working hours they cannot access. So there are many things you can concentrate, and it is not possible by a single person to concentrate in all areas. You can concentrate, take any one area, develop a system, maybe later you can add more features to provide more security.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I'm Shweta. Sir, could you please tell us how will AI-powered cybersecurity solutions impact the job markets for cybersecurity professionals?
Obviously there are more job markets, because as I told you during my presentation, most of the industry or company, they are moving towards automation. For automation we need automatically IoT technology nowadays. When you incorporate IoT, obviously we now AI enabled IoT is a boomer now. So we have lot of jobs, and that too, even in AI enabled IoT, people are facing difficulty by providing security. If you become a security specialist, I'm sure that you have a lot of opportunities in the job market. Definitely, because this is the trend. Now everywhere people are moving towards AI enabled IoT, and obviously they need security to secure their information, their device, their institution, everything. So I'm sure you will get lot of jobs in the market.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a very insightful session, especially security program, Python-based program was eye-opener for everybody here. So I humbly request all the participants to switch on the camera so that we can click a picture with sir, and Srimati Rajshri ma'am has already joined the line. So I request you to switch on your camera so that we can move on to the next session. Taju ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your beautiful presentations. Looking forward to collaborate with you in the future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next session, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's session, Srimati Rajshri S., Scientist G and Head, Cybersecurity Center for Development and Advanced Computing. Mrs. Rajshri Nair is a distinguished scientist at the Center for Development of Advanced Computing in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, India, where she has dedicated over 16 years to advancing the field of computing. Her exceptional expertise and extensive experience in industry have contributed significantly to growth and innovation within CDAC. Rajshri ma'am currently serves as a scientist, a position she has held since July 2020 after a long and successful stint as Scientist F. A profound impact on technology development combined with the commitment to excellence makes her an influential figure in the field of advanced computing. Ma'am has quite a wide range of experience spanning from banking to IT services to her public sector service right now. We are deeply grateful to her for a valuable time and willingness to share her knowledge with us as a part of this initiative. We look forward to her insightful contribution in this faculty development program. Please join me in welcoming Srimati Rajshri S. to the virtual stage. Ma'am?
I am muted, right? Okay. So, good evening, everyone. I know it is very difficult. I can see so many ladies here managing to attend this program late in the evening. So, but having said that, since I have been vested with this responsibility, I hope you will be at least paying some attention to whatever is going on here. I am actually having a like how Dr. Saraswati was trying to introduce me. I first and foremost thank the institution and Dr. Saraswati and all the coordinators here who have invited me and given this opportunity to CDAC. I am representing CDAC here. So I have had private sector, public sector, and government experiences. So I have currently I'm heading the cybersecurity, as Dr. Saraswati said, at CDAC. So before I start this, I would just like to know maybe a show of hands. I request the participants to tell me any professionals out here or all are basically faculty members. Any professionals, kindly raise your hands.
No, faculty members, ma'am.
All FDP, so it's all for faculty members, right? Okay. So basically all from the computer science department, or is it from other departments also?
From
Other
management.
departments as well, ma'am. I'm from humanities and social sciences.
Okay. So
I'm
basically
from
I want
BBA department, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Just to understand, to what level of depth I should go. I mean, whether I should keep it a very superficial kind of a thing. That was the reason. But then, having said that, I think all of you must be aware of, so management people are there. I appreciate that it is a varying audience, and but nevertheless, I think cybersecurity, since you've been attending this FDP, and my previous speaker also was speaking on IoT security, as far as I could understand. I joined very late. So yeah, there are some computer science people also out here, so I appreciate that. So kindly understand that I'm trying to keep it in a balance so that all of you can appreciate it. So to start with, I will start by introducing CDAC. So I will open my presentation with your permission. Just give me a second, please. And I would request you to also be very interactive. I will also try to be interactive because at 7:30, speaking on cybersecurity, listening on cybersecurity, it will be all the more very dry kind of a topic. So kindly be interactive. Please put in questions as and when you feel. Please don't wait for the end of the session so that we have everybody attending properly. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you? I believe you can hear me also. Please interrupt me if there is any problem there. So my focus will be on the emerging trends in cybersecurity. So I did see two presentations which were done by the previous speakers in the day. So I hope mine is not at any point in time. If it seems repetitive, do let me know. I don't have any hassles to switch over to something else. Okay, so I don't want you to have a very boring participation. I'll try my best to make it as interactive and as interesting as possible. So I would start with CDAC, as I said, because many times when I interacted with the general public and a lot of people, people had this feeling that CDAC is basically a training organization. Okay, because we happen to run a lot of training programs, and that is a public connect that we have. People naturally tend to think that we are mostly into training. But I think some of you at least will be knowing that CDAC is originally formed as an R&D institution. The formation of CDAC was in 1988 when India needed supercomputing facilities and US was supposed to give us the technology, and suddenly they decided against it with some reasons for best known to them, but obviously a lot of insecurities also. So for that reason, India wanted to have its own supercomputing facility, and that time the erstwhile Prime Minister Sri Rajiv Gandhi and Sri Sam Petroda, his scientific advisor, invited Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, who is a founder. Executive director is the position that he held at that time. Currently, the senior most person who is the authoritarian position of CDAC is the Director General. So at that point in time, it was the Executive Director, Dr. Vijay P. Bhatkar, Padma Shri Vijay P. Bhatkar. So he started to understand what supercomputing is and start building from a supercomputer from scratch. So that's how CDAC came into being. Now, at that point in time, I think around 2 to 3 centers of CDAC were there. The primary center being at Pune, which is basically still the high performance computing center, which is oriented towards high performance computing. And across the country, currently we have around 12 centers, 12 cities we are located with around 15 to 16 centers. That means in few cities we are having multiple locations. So across the like length and breadth of the country, north, south, east, west, everywhere we have at least one center, and we have been working in various areas. So this CDAC is now a consortia or a conglomerate of various institutions like ERDCI. If those of you who have heard about such institutions, which was very much into mainframe training at one point in time, CDAC was also. So across the country, a lot of labs got merged in the year 2002. And that's how now CDAC has this 16 labs across 12 centers. We have around 5,000 plus employees across all the centers. And CDAC Trivandrum, from where I'm speaking, is one of the largest centers of CDAC with around 1,300 employees. So we work in various areas, including the niche areas of quantum computing. We have an India microprocessor. We develop a specific microprocessor, which is basically from India. IIT Chennai is also doing a microprocessor development project. We are part of the same initiative, but two different chips we are bringing out. We are also working in AI, ML, DL, image processing, cybersecurity, of course. Supercomputing was the starting point. And we also work in health technologies. One thing that I want to tell you all is CDAC, which can common citizens can connect is during the COVID time, we had facilitated something called e-Sanjeevani, where anybody can actually connect with a doctor online, and around 1 crore patients were attended to in that time. So e-Sanjeevani is basically a product from CDAC, which is basically helping you to connect with the medical fraternity of government hospitals. So that was widely used during COVID time. Another product of CDAC, which touches the human life or the common citizen's life, is the 112. I don't know how many of you know about the 112. If most of you must be knowing about the 911, but similarly, we have the 112 in India. So the 112 number is basically an emergency helpline. It came into being after the unfortunate Nirbhaya episode. which happened in 2011. So after that, the security and the need to send first responders immediately to the point of requirement was realized by the government, and we were CDAC was mandated to do the technology as well as the implementation across the country. So CDAC has rolled out in all the states of the country 112, and anytime you can dial 112 and report anything which is related to police, sorry, moving to disaster management, emergency response, fire response, so on and so forth. So I'll move to the next slide, which is basically, can you please mute that participant? Yeah, thank you so much. So basically, we are working in various areas, as I said. Cybersecurity is one area where CDAC is working. Now work in a lot of areas, including, I'm starting from the bottom, mobile and IoT security, HPC and cloud security, malware and threat analysis, critical infrastructure security, network security, cryptography, blockchain, and cyber forensics. Now, if you look at blockchain, I believe at least few of you should be knowing what blockchain is. So we are into development of a blockchain framework, the national blockchain framework, and also CDAC being one of the prime organization, we work a lot in standardization, creating frameworks, creating policy.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am.
I think I got muted when somebody muted everyone. Yeah. So am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is my screen visible?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I don't know where you have stopped listening to me, but I'll just say that CDAC has been working in this. Just give me a second, please. So CDAC has been working in the cyber forensics domain also, where we have helped the country, the law enforcement agencies of the country, extract cyber forensic data from point of like incidents, and also analyze the origin of that. For example, the Western grid. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the Western grid was attacked some time back. There was a blackout from our friendly neighborhood country. So that was basically pointed, understood from where it was originated. So all these kind of analysis and forensic activities we do. The incident response, the incident analysis. Okay. We also work. See, when I'm talking about CDAC and the work that is being done, you can also understand that this is what is currently happening in the cybersecurity landscape of the country. Okay, so please don't think that this is only CDAC, but by explaining this, I am also explaining what are the various areas of cybersecurity which is happening and what is happening in that right now. Now, we are also into various OT security. OT security as an operational technology. IT is information technology, OT is operational technology. For example, you have the power grids. So if you have any kind of hacking activities there, you need to monitor them, you need to protect them, because the hacking methodologies have changed. It's not necessarily from the computer or the mobile that people are attacking. They are attacking our vital infrastructure, which is basically our like power grids or power stations. Okay, where actually what happens is it affects the common man and it makes an impact. Any hacker, when he tries to attack, he tries to make the maximum damage, because he is supposed to make the maximum impact so that his exploit is known to everyone, right? So this is one activity that we do in OT security. We are working in post quantum cryptography. I'll come to the other things later. And also we are doing a lot of capacity building in terms of education awareness, in terms of critical infrastructure building. We make data centers for the certain. I hope you know what is certain. It is a computer emergency response team, which is global, and its Indian version is a certain. So this is basically, we do a lot of work with them under their guidance, and also such supporting them in setting up infrastructure, as well as doing some technology oriented development. So we also have a lot of dark web monitoring, critical infrastructure security. We do security audit. If you know about VAPT, vulnerability analysis and penetration testing, so we do a lot of vulnerability analysis, penetration testing. We also operate security operations center. We'll come to that later. What is a security operations center and all that. So this is basically the work that CDAC is doing, and it is also giving you an insight on what exactly is happening in the industry. When a cybersecurity professional goes to the industry, these are the various areas of work which happens in the cybersecurity. This is not exhaustive, but this is very much indicative of what is happening in the industry. Now, as I said, so we are working in cyber threat intelligence, monitoring, mitigation. So these are the areas of work. If you're looking at a prospective employment in an industry, these are the areas of work you can look at. Critical infrastructure, IoT, which is a very big thing these days. And of course, mobile, which is some people consider mobile as a part of IoT. Some people treat it separately. We have a lot of forensic activities. We have network security. We work in digital trust and privacy also, and blockchain, crypto module validation, deep fake, deception, PQC, etc., etc. Okay, so with that, I'll just come to very general discussion, which is basically how the cybercrime has grown from 3 trillion to 10.5 trillion. We have grown, and the country which is like targeted the maximum is currently the US, and the healthcare industry is the industry which is impacted in terms of the volume of business. Really recently the AIMS, or few months back, not recently, few months back, AIMS was attacked. It was a ransomware attack, and they say that if your credit card information fetches you $5, your health record fetches you $65. So the healthcare records are much more costlier than your credit card information, and the average time to identify and contain is 277 days. So it takes a lot of time to contain in certain cases. Sometimes you contain the scenarios faster. So these are the cybercrime statistics, which just gives you an insight. So what is the frequency of ransomware attack? In 2016, it was one attack in every 40 seconds. Now it is 2021 statistics is given here. It is 11 seconds. So it is increasing. Now, who is behind the data breaches? Now, adversaries have changed from time to time. Okay. Now, if you look at it, nation, for example, countries are primarily trying to attack other countries. The warfare mechanism has changed from physical warfare, military warfare, to a non-military warfare and a cyber attack kind of a scenario, bringing down other nations' critical infrastructure, bringing down other nations' visible infrastructure, which makes take pride. The people who are the adversaries take pride in doing such things, because it's not just for the money that people are doing this. Now it is also, it's a warfare. So there is a cyber warfare also there. We have very organized crimes. Every day you listen to a lot of organized crimes, so I'm not going into the details of it. You must have listened to a lot of calls coming to you also. So a lot of organized crimes with that is primarily with a financial motive. Such organized crimes are primarily with a financial motive. And you have a lot of terrorist organization which wants to hurt the pride of a country by defacing their websites, doing some money laundering kind of a thing. So all people who have this kind of terrorist roots try to attack other countries and intentionally defame them, pull money out of them, and so on and so on. And you also have hacktivists, which are basically hackers who are activists. They can have a positive role, they can have a negative role. They are basically serving a purpose. So the purpose could be anything. So they can go and circulate a propaganda, they can circulate something very positive. So these are the kind of people, and these are the adversaries that we are looking at these days. Now you have various targets and vectors. So basically you have emails coming to you with attachments, you have the social media, so you it may be asking you directly or redirecting you to something else. You may have a web on the web, you may encounter a malicious server. You may have water holing is that if a lot of people are visiting the site of SBI, then they try to hack SBI site and like somehow lure the attack the people who are coming there. So that becomes a watering hole. Watering hole is something where animals come for water, right? So this is like something frequently visited for a purpose of information or something. That is basically how this name, as my understanding, has come. And you have through different mobile minnows that we have, that people trap people and exploit. uh, this is a mechanism of exploitation. So there are the targets are web browsers, browser extensions. For example, you have a browser extension for cookie saving or something of that sort. They target those extensions, and also they have some kind of file format attacks also. So these are the various attacks that are happening. Now why are we looking at the attacks? Because that will give you a trend on what is that to be focused for the preemption of the attack, or monitor real time what is it monitoring of the attack, and also finding out. So basically it will give you a trend on what you should be working on, right? So that is why we are looking at the type of attacks right now. Now what are the things that are compromised these days? People want to compromise on state secrets, as in government information, government secrets. So they want to compromise on the intellectual property of various things. And personally identifiable information, uh, of course, it was always a sought after data, and looking for the monetary benefit, so your bank accounts, etc., etc. And they want persistent access to some things which will be a long term goal. And also they move within the system, they move on a lateral way within the organization. They make an entry and move laterally throughout the system, and they get into your system, your third party service providers, or anybody else whom they feel can be targeted. So this is how. And so I had mentioned that there is a security operations center. So there are few concepts that are being given here for you, for those of you who may not have come across these terminologies. So a security operations center is basically, for example, CDAC is running a security operations center at Trivandrum. So what we do is we play the role of a security operator for a government organization. For example, we have X bank or Y bank, or we have an airport, or a large government organization. What we do is we remotely monitor their IT infrastructure for security incidents. We do investigation, incident analysis. So what we do, we collect all the logs from all those IT infrastructures. We analyze those logs. We create alerts wherever it is required. We take remedial action. We request them to take remedial action. And this is how a SOC is working. So it putting it SOC, the concept of SOC in very simple terms, this is what normally happens in a SOC. So I'm just coming to the SOC and the other activities that in Trivandrum, what we are doing. So this is a small photograph of our SOC here. That is a 24/7 operation center where SOC operators come in. Basically, they'll be monitoring the IT infrastructure, and also now we are moving to the OT infrastructure also. So IT infrastructure audit management is done, and in that we do 24/7 security monitoring. We respond to any incidents of our clients. We do cybersecurity mock drills. We create, for example, recently what we did was, within CDAC itself, we created honey pots, to attract people, to see how many people respond to that. We did phishing attacks. We simulated phishing attacks to see how good our employees are aware of uh, the responses. So just to keep our clients also always empowered with such information, we do the cybersecurity drills. We do domain monitoring. For example, X Bank is our customer. We take similarly named domains for basically using for which may be used for phishing attacks. So we do the domain monitoring. We also do analysis and advisory services. So we tell them that this is your infrastructure. Now this is where the vulnerabilities are. You need to fix it up this way. So the architecture is evaluated, and also we give the advisory services on the architecture also. That is part of our consultancy services, and also definitely on the threat intelligence that we have, and we correlate that information with the alerts generated, and we also give them advisories on a day-to-day basis on what immediate action they should take to avoid some kind of a threat or a situation. So these are the things that are happening. Then again, I'm coming to security auditing. We are a certain empaneled auditing agency. So what we do is, we do vulnerability and penetration testing. One of the most recent large scale example that I can highlight is election 2024. The entire infrastructure of Election Commission of India was audited by CDAC, and it was a very vigorous and very challenging process for us, which we could do with all due respect, in a very decent manner, very respectful and very thorough manner. So that was one of the recent experiences that we have. And we also help in dark web threat intelligence collection, and so on and so forth. We have been serving a lot of organizations. The name of the organizations are there for you to see. So that is one operation that is like my team. Part of this work done by my team is on this particular aspect. Another aspect that we do in Trivandrum is basically we are into network security, orchestration, and automation. So we are into network security. If you have heard about SOC, you may have heard about NOC also, the Network Operations Center. So Network Operations Center basically, for example, for a bank which has pan India presence, they have their NOC at their headquarters, and they'll be able to look at all the entire network infrastructure, which are the links which are up, which are the links down, which are the devices which are currently active. Any rogue devices coming in, they can monitor that. So these are the things that normally happen. So we have a tool for which we call as Darpan, which is basically for the network orchestration and management. It is used around 6 to 7 data centers of the country, and also very huge organizations, and also a lot of Ministry of Home Affairs entities like Intelligence Bureau, RAW, etc., etc. A lot of customers are there from the departments of the government of India, and also the state data centers, statewide area networks, etc. Okay, so we also are into something called a SD-WAN solution. This again a networking solution. So I'm not going into too much of it, but we have the capabilities of network security, orchestration, and automation here. We are building a 5G framework here. So we are into private 5G, where you will be able to use a SIM which is not of any of the service providers that you know of. And for example, defense, they don't want to use the regular service providers, and they don't want to have a private 5G of their own. So that framework for the private 5G is being built by us at CDAC Trivandrum. So these are the large scale areas. Of course, now we are working in the quantum key distribution, quantum network management, QKD, because as I said, as you may all realize, that quantum key distribution is going to be a challenge. Quantum key management is going to be another major area of interest, and currently people are working on this. So these are the various activities that are happening with my team at Trivandrum. So moving on to this, I think I should not spend any more time. We are also into software testing services for the various organizations of the government. This I think I have explained reasonably well, so I don't think I shall spend any more time on this. So basically, we are looking at the evolution of the security technology. It's actually also evolving very fast because of the challenges created every other day. So this is the evolution. So currently, for example, if you are looking at if you are aware of what it is, there is a security incident and event management solution, which is called SEAM. You may use SOAR, you may use UEBA. So, in fact, those are immediately getting replaced with XDR, MXDR, etc., etc. So, these are a little deeper terminologies. So, since this is a wide audience, I'm not going into those specifics. We also have a lot of solutions for IAM, incident and access management, etc., etc. So, lot of solutions are required by all organizations these days to maintain various levels of security. So, the topic for given to me was the trends in cybersecurity. So, I'm slowly trying to come to that. So, I am just looking at. I tried to pick something very generic so that every one of you can relate to, and not going into too much of detailing, so that you're not bored or not interested. Anything that you've listened so far, you want to ask me, you can do. Then I'll move to this part, this segment. Anyone with anything, any questions so far?
Ma'am, what about high performance computing, ma'am?
Yeah. So HPC is still very much there. We are working on HPC applications. One is the core development of the HPC technology and infrastructure. There are some like Param Shavak, Param Rudra, various kinds of hardware like being developed and constantly updated. So that is definitely there. Pune Center is again working on that technologies. HPC was used. I just want to share a use case of HPC. HPC is normally used in climate, like climate studies, weather modeling. Maybe understanding simulation studies of earthquakes. Those things where you would not be able to actually study it otherwise. So those kinds of simulation studies. So during COVID time, one of the things that we did was a DNA simulation study with the Ministry of Ayush, where what we did was we took the remdesivir, which was like almost everybody was using that medicine for COVID from the allopathic point of view. We also used an Ayurvedic drug, and we tried a DNA simulation study. And at that point in time, I hope the study has come out as a study, but at that point in time, we were given to understand that the Ayurvedic medicine was binding better with the DNA than the allopathic drug. So basically, this was one attempt to see Ayurveda or any other kind of alternate medicine has a challenge that it's not evidence based. There is no proof that it is good or bad or whatever. So this was one of the attempts, I think, in that direction to show that this is it. So HPC is there. Now cybersecurity per se, we are now moving into big data and that kind of cyber security. So we use the capability of our HPC teams for that. As far as the academic population is concerned, I think there are some HPC servers that you can look at, like Param Shavak at Param. I think Param Shavak is the one that is normally given to various academic institutions. So if anybody is interested, they can come back to me. I will connect you with the concerned person in Pune. Anything else that you would like to know? Okay. So
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah. So now I'll move to the trends. It is a little boring, but I'll try to make it as interesting as possible. So around 9 trends are being discussed here. So the first trend, see, when AI and machine learning are coming, we have lot of prospects. We can do lot many things with AI machine learning. But the challenge with cybersecurity is that the players who are creating the threats also have the same flexibility of using the AI and machine learning. So I think my previous speaker, I joined the last 2-3 slides of the last speaker. He was mentioning something on this. So I don't want to linger a lot on the specific topics if they are already taken, so that you're not bored out of this. But then understand that AI and machine learning is going to help. It's like it's a horizontal. When I say financial domain, health domain, these are all verticals, and AI is a horizontal which will actually affect every vertical. So for that matter, in cybersecurity also, you are to use AI to understand, predict, preempt, okay, so that something you can stop even before it happens. That is a new way of working. So we are basically trying to bring in the AI element into all our existing products, and also build AI into the newer products that we are doing. Especially when you come to quantum, it is also altogether a different game. But even with AI and ML, we are having threats because our our perpetrators, the people who are trying to attack us, are also going to use AI and ML. So we need to counter them. We need to be smarter than them. So there are various security bots which are basically AI driven. So those security bots, maybe for example, if it's for a retail user, we can retail in the sense for a normal common citizen, it can be given to your system, so that automatically the bot gets activated whenever you have go to a thing. It can give you an alert or a warning that this is not a good place to go to, or there are so many vulnerabilities that are found in your system, and so on and so forth. So basically, the system is shifting towards autonomous cybersecurity system. Earlier on, what happens, for example, I was mentioning of the SIEM. The SIEM used to monitor the incidents and give an alert, and on the alert, a particular SOC operator or SOC functionary would react. But here, what is going to happen? It is going to be an autonomous cybersecurity. So AIML, the intelligence built into the system, will help the system do the remedial action also automatically. So this is another this is a trend. This is the first trend that I'm discussing today, that AI and ML is going to bring in. Now we are also discussing about IoT security. I think the last speaker was mentioning about IoT security. So obviously, this need of IoTs are there. You think about smart farming, you think about power grids, you think about a refinery, an oil refinery. Everywhere you will have sensors and automatically SCADA systems, earlier SCADA systems, now moving into industry 4.0. So IoT is going to be there everywhere, in automobiles, remotely operated, whatever kind of drones, and everywhere IoT is coming in. And so obviously, when things come and when they are there, you are having opportunities of them getting exposed to uh, all kinds of threats. So IoT security is a huge area of work because it is so wide spanning. Since I mentioned the applications, you might be able to appreciate that how big that area is. The so-called connected vehicles that we have, the connected cars, like you come up with great advertisements, but actually connected cars also bring with them a lot of vulnerabilities. So ubiquity, in that sense that it is available everywhere. IoT devices becomes available everywhere. Your smart water meter, your smart energy meter, everywhere devices are going to come. So it is going to be easy targets also, sitting ducks for other people to attack. So basically, the thing is that one is that, as I told you, CDAC is into development of security standards and protocols. So we are also into devising security protocols. We are also giving advisories on what kind of protocols, IoT devices, what kind of hardware security uh, should be there for a particular IoT device, and so on and so forth. So basically, this is to help the IoT security, to enhance the IoT security. So as and when more IoT devices are coming out, and also the technology is moving faster. Every other day, the hardware and the sensors or whatever you're using in an IoT device, it gets updated, and then correspondingly, you need to update the security aspects also. So this is one area which is always going to be a hot area of work for a cybersecurity professional. And there again, AI and ML algorithms can be brought into the system, so that you will have to understand a pattern of behavior, and you will say that, okay, this was this is likely to be this, and then do a preemptive action before it goes into a incident by itself. So also users, for example, I have a connected car, I don't know what are the vulnerabilities. So better that I get to know what are the vulnerabilities. And so what happens is I get to know what are the best practices to use a connected car, how I should use, how I should not use. Like when I use an ATM or any kind of a thing for that matter, if I know the best way of doing it, I am at a slighter level of risk. So IoT security is another important area, which is definitely already a lot of work is happening, and a lot of work will happen in the future. Now, blockchain technologies are used to decentralize and secure IoT networks. So I hope you have some idea of what blockchain technology is. So basically, there using blockchain technology, you try to define what who all have data access to what all data, and hence we try to reduce the vulnerability of that data, especially when it goes into when the data is pushed into a centralized system, and so on and so forth. So this is the IoT security, which is the second point after the AI. So then the next huge thing that is coming up or already there is the quantum computing and its impact. So I believe all of you know that when quantum comes, one of the biggest risks that it is going to bring, it's going to give a lot of advantage in terms of computing. You are going to have great processing powers. You have lot of potential to strengthen your cybersecurity infrastructure. You have, or the applications, the software, everything. You have abundant opportunities, but at the same time, from the other side, if you look at it, quantum equally poses the threat. That is, for example, your keys, what you factored that a key cannot be broken from so many number of years, so many millions of years or whatever, can be broken in no time with a quantum algorithm. So the key distribution, that's one of the areas where see that is working, the quantum key distribution. So what we did was in Chennai, in Chennai, we had a metro access quantum key distribution network, where we had a quantum network established in the metropolis of Chennai. That's why it's called a Macan project, or a metro access quantum network. So there we created a quantum network between IIT Madras, CDAC, and ERNET, and then we had a quantum key distribution simulation or actual thing done as a test basis, and now we're going to create a network across the country. So this is basically the biggest challenge is the post-quantum cryptography, the area of work. If you're looking for research problems, if you're looking for further work in this area, you can definitely look at the PQC, which is a post-quantum cryptography. And cybersecurity will have to evolve rapidly. Otherwise, you are bound to lose this game when quantum is going to be set, and your adversaries are going to use quantum to attack your system. So you have to have quantum resilient systems being built at your end. So the current work that is happening is that, okay, PQC is one area, building quantum resilient systems, networks, like, or any kind of activities that are happening, the cybersecurity applications, all those things, the effort is going on to make it quantum resilient. Of course, phishing attacks, I think you don't need any kind of thing. Every other day, it's not just the phishing, but all kinds of attacks are happening, and they are evolving. Even so-called people working in the field of IT who are supposed to be empowered with this kind of information, they are also falling bait into phishing attacks. So they are basically evolving, and hence to counter that, we need to evolve so that systems are empowered, that if somebody, if at all, if I myself, God forbid, falls into some kind of thing, my system prevents me or retracts me as much as possible using various kinds of things like multi-factor authentication, so that even if I make a blunder at one point, I need to go to the next level to commit that, but hopefully by that time I'm informed or I get deterred to move any further. So this is phishing attacks. So everything, see, every new threat is actually creating a trend. If you look at the problems that we discussed and result how the trend is happening, the problems are the creation or are the roots or the reasons why the trends are initiated. Okay, so you have like authentication solutions, advanced authentication solutions, etc., need to be even more augmented to ensure that we are as smart or smarter than the attackers. Then we have a lot of mobile. Everybody, every single person these days in India, almost everyone is using a mobile, and many states, even your groundnut vendor or some very smallest roadside sellers, they are all using our payment systems, NPCI powered payment systems. So what happens is, like, mobile security is now an enhanced area where we need to pay a lot of attention, ensure that adequate security is there on your mobile device. So CDAC has a lot of work being done, especially our Hyderabad center is working a lot on mobile security. So we have software which will tell you what are the malicious applications that are there on your mobile. What is, like, you have a mobile device management system where if you are coming into your office, the mobile will be, I mean, you can set permissions on what all things can happen on your mobile and so on. So a lot of work is happening on that. Obviously, with all this AI and other things coming in, more work needs to be happening on mobile security. So this is another area of mobile security that is trend number 6. So now coming to the zero trust security. Now, I hope this word of zero trust is understood by all of you. It's an important concept, so I'll spend a little time on this. It's very simple. As it's mentioned, zero trust. You don't trust anyone, you don't trust anything, any request, anything that is coming to the system. You are absolutely having no trust. You are a doubting John for that matter. You're doubting everything that is coming to your network, everybody who's coming. Because what has happened is, earlier on in the cybersecurity, when it started, it was like a physical perimeter. For example, I say, once I enter my office and I'm an employee, I'm a trusted person, and my accesses are taken with some element of trust. But in this scenario, where the insider attacks are also happening at random and at a reasonably large pace, this was understood that you should not trust anyone, neither an insider. There are no parameters for trust. So always verify, no trust. This is the basic underlying principle of zero trust. So what happens is, every request, irrespective of whether I am an authorized user, I am the director of the center, or I am the senior most authority of the organization, even if I send a request or it comes from my IP, it needs to be treated with caution. So this is basically the concept of zero trust. So you need to have a identity verification process, the identity of the person, the identity and access management, IAM as it's called. Many of you may know that jargon. The identity and access management process has to be very vigorously monitored and augmented, and you have to exercise strict access control. Maybe you have to have a hierarchy of accesses and role based accesses and least what is the least privilege access, what is the minimum privilege to be given to each person, and so on and so forth. So basically, the endpoint security, the user acceptance, all these things come into factor or consideration when you do a zero trust security. So it's basically intended to avoid, don't trust anyone so that you don't create any problems. It's a very negative way of doing things, but then the systems were compelled to move towards that you cannot trust anyone, obviously, whether he is an insider or outsider, irrespective of the perimeter that you have defined or whatever. There are no perimeters now. In zero trust security, there are no perimeters. Okay, so the basically, so there is a shift. This is a huge shift, in fact, and more work is already on inside zero trust security, and more work is definitely going to be there. So this is the reason why it's figuring at trend number 7. So I have few slides on zero trust architecture. So I think my time is till 8:30. Am I right, Dr. Saraswati? And then
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So I'll just skip few slides. Like traditional security model, as I mentioned, was perimeter based. So you had you assumed that everything inside the network is safe. You have the firewall, the IPS, the IDS, the antivirus, everything is safe after that. Okay, and there was this cloud first, mobile first kind of. So when cloud came in, obviously that perimeter, the physical perimeter was lost. Then when mobile came in, the perimeter was even lost, the physical boundaries were and of course with COVID and various other things, a lot of people started working from home. So these were the reasons why these were moving towards a zero trust. So I'm not going into this for the interest of time. If I have time, I'll come back to this. So this is basically what ZTA is, or the zero trust access is, and what are the access controls, and how you can assess the risk. So there are the various principles: verify every access, least privilege, segment the networks into small micro segments, so that you can limit. The idea of segmentation, I just may have mentioned this point. You give a micro segmentation to the network that you have. For example, I have an attack on my segment of network. My network policy says that the traffic cannot go from this segment to the net. So I'm limiting the lateral movement of the breach. So that is the reason why micro segmentation is advised. And also the adaptive and context based policies are there. Data protection is there, so that it is encrypted, and also there are other ways to protect it. So everything is assumed as a breach, so always assume a breach. Now this is a depiction of the zero trust access. So this is something that is like a thing to stay, and work happening on this. So this is definitely a trend in the cybersecurity domain. Now there was a question to the last speaker. I could listen to that question about the skill gaps in education. Cybersecurity professionals need to augment their knowledge and skills. Now once you venture into it, you need to have some education, but it is a requirement that you constantly are updated, keeping yourself groomed, skilled, so that this is a constantly evolving field. So everybody who wants to move into this field should first equip themselves with the knowledge at that point in time, and then once you go into that, keep on evolving your education and academic skills. So choose various programs. Some of them are very exorbitantly expensive, but at least whatever you can afford. Maybe your organizations, what we do in our organization is we keep skilling our manpower. We sponsor them for these kind of courses, and that is how they keep themselves updated. And we ensure that our services that we are offering to our customers, the various offerings that of CDAC, are coming to the level of expectation. So a lot of education and training institutions are there. There are some PPP initiatives, public-private partnership initiatives in cybersecurity education. So educational institutions, I think there are organizations, institutions which are offering BTech in cybersecurity. So that itself has changed the way engineering, basic education, undergraduate programs have been looked at. So this is basically because of the need of the cybersecurity itself has become a huge area. Or for example, AI has itself become a huge area, that an entire BTech or undergraduate program is designed on that. Okay, so this is basically the skill gaps in education that if you are a tutor or a faculty member, and if you keep on enhancing your capability to deliver to a niche audience of cybersecurity professionals, will definitely earn value for you. So that is another trending area. And of course, coming to the last trend, which is the blockchain and cybersecurity. So in the blockchain, I hope you know that in the blockchain there is a decentralized ledger, and there is basically, it's like a everything is captured. For example, the best example that I would look at for a blockchain is like the maintenance of your land records. My great grandfather had some property, and it has come down to my father or my mother, and it has come down to me, and I sell it to somebody. So the entire transaction is captured flawlessly, retained flawlessly, so that this record is authentic by self. In academia, you can think about the academic records of the students who are passing out of your institution. So some employee reference comes after 10 years of his passing. You have this data which you can validate and confirm without a second thought. So these are the blockchain applications that we can think about. So this technology is definitely ensuring availability of cyber resilient information for the institution or the organization where it is implemented. And basically, it also ensures control on who is got, for example, financial banking institutions for that matter. They should be, for example, I as a bank or a retail customer of the bank, I have certain data in my bank. As a customer, the bank ensures that my data is only accessible to whoever is supposed to be accessing. So, and in case there is any other kind of access, the transactions are recorded and can be viewed if required by the authorized personnel. So there are basically a lot of activity which is happening in blockchain already, and it is definitely going to be something which will be trending in the coming years also. So this is another area of work which is in the cybersecurity domain, which is also as a trend, a cybersecurity emerging trend. So this is a Gartner document. I couldn't capture it more decently. It's almost showing the same things. This again says continuous threat exposure management. As I said, in a security operations center or as an individual, I am also continuously under threat exposure. So how to manage that? This is one main area where we work on. Anybody has to work on. So that is one trend that Gartner is suggesting. Another is the incident identity and access management. So I have to improve on the identity and access management. So that is basically the second area as per Gartner. The third area is basically cybersecurity risk management. So the threat management, the risk management, more or less interchangeably you can use, but it has its own connotation. What are the different types of risk? And also it is talking about the third party risk management. When I'm connected with my system to a third party, or we connect as a third party to a banking system or any system for that. IRCTC, you're connecting as a user, and IRCTC is connecting to a banking system. So there are third party security risk management requirements now. Now, privacy driven application and data coupling. So the DPDP Act is there, which is basically defining a lot of privacy protection kind of a thing. So how to implement that, and also data coupling, how to achieve a data decoupling. And of course the generative AI, which I've mentioned, I didn't use the word generative AI, I just mentioned AI and ML. Of course generative AI or AI ML for that matter is definitely a trend to look out for. And basically the security behavior and culture programs, which is explained in the slide subsequently. So I'll just move because the bottom part I'm not able to read. Cybersecurity outcome driven metrics. So I explained these four. So I'm just going into the security behavior and culture programs, which basically encapsulates an enterprise-wide approach to minimize cybersecurity. So basically, you define enterprise level policies, you define best practices, and increase focus on human elements. Basically, as I said, with human elements directly, physically, or even from a remotely operated system, the way they behave, the cybersecurity outcome-driven metrics. You define certain metrics for the cybersecurity outcomes, and basically on these cybersecurity metrics, you basically identify what kind of investment should go into your for example, if for me, for a bank, okay, for a bank, cybersecurity is of enormous importance, but for some other entity or an institution it may not be of so. Okay, in the sense that your what do you say, the risk metric may not be of impact, may not be so high, or the probability of somebody getting interested in something that you do may not be of certain. If an attacker is interested in what I'm doing only, the probability of me getting attacked is high, right? So if I am not of any interest to the organization or for any other nation or state or any other threat actor, then maybe the probability that I get attacked is less. So depending on that, how much of investment should be done for cybersecurity for this particular organization or the institution or for the individual. So a lot of models are also evolving. So various operating models are there which are evolving as per Gartner. And also Gartner mentions the need for reskilling the teams, and the security risk management leaders must reskill their teams by retaining talent. So these are the trends as given by Gartner. So there is one slide on threat intelligence, but I will not spend any time on this. I think I've closed exactly at 8:30. Now I'm open for questions. So I'll stop sharing. Yeah.
The floor is open for questions, please.
I hope I didn't put you to sleep or tire you any further. Any questions from anyone? So I hope I could make you understand what CDAC is, at least in that perspective. And also, yeah, and some concepts of what cybersecurity, what things are happening in the industry, a few of the things, and how these are going to change in the years to come. I guess there are no questions.
Have any questions? Shweta?
So I have either conveyed everything very clearly or I have not been able to convey anything. That's the message that I should take from this.
And this has got nothing to do with cybersecurity, but your journey from private to public sector bank. And could you tell more for the benefit of students here?
Okay. Personally, given a choice, I would still work in a PSU because, see, it depends on the temperament of the individual. If you are made for research kind of a thing, everybody has something ingrained in them. Maybe I am very good at implementing things. Then I should look for a IT job or what kind of private sector job, because if you are somebody who's always on the move and always on your toes, a private sector and a public sector job would do. But if you are a thinker and you want to do research and that kind of thing, then an R&D institution is where you should be ending up. And trust me, government of India, we work like private sector these days. So I think if somebody is coming with a notion that in government you can sit and relax, I'm so sorry, because this is not the only time that I work like late in the night. We keep moving, we keep traveling, we have very late we're working hours, mostly because we have deadlines. The pressure that the government is putting on us to deliver is high. So, but if you look at my journey, I started from 92. I'm a 92 pass out engineering. So from 92, I moved to private sector. I enjoyed my stint there. Then I moved to public sector, which is the public sector bank that I was talking about. It was a tremendously fulfilling experience because you work with the best of technologies, with the best of companies, organizations, because in the bank you have a lot of vendors, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Sun Microsystems, HP, all of them are your vendors. So you get to work with them, and also you get to learn. When I was working with the bank, that is the time when the RTGS, NEFT, the core banking, the internet banking, the payment gateways, the NPCI was formulated. So we got to work on the NPCI documentation, which is basically the backbone to your GPay and all that. So it was a tremendously fulfilling journey in the public sector for me. And from there, when I moved to CDAC, it was a different way of doing things there, but then it was also fulfilling. So it depends on your interest, what you want to do in life, whether, I am a person who would not leave this country for anything in the world, so it is depending on your personality. So I'm not saying this is good, that is not good, that is not for me to judge, but understand that everything is a package. So you have something positive somewhere, you have something negative, but what is your kind of personality, where do you fit in best? And please don't think that government jobs are easy to get into. Definitely it's not easy, but once you get into the system also, these days it's very tough, very tough.
And one more question, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you, for a short, like from your resume, I came to know that you had a brief stint as HR and legal expert. So
Yes.
the cybersecurity also gels with that. How was the transition, ma'am?
It was, in fact, an interim arrangement by the organization because there was like a dearth of a professionally qualified HR person. But for me as a person, I'll tell you, it gave me so much of insight. It's very rarely that a technical person gets to work in that domain, because we always consider that for example, in many organizations, the core activities, for example, a bank means the core activity is banking. In CDAC, core activity is R&D. So this is a support activity or a helping function kind of a thing, right? But sitting there, it gave me so much of insight on how the system works, and I think once all of you are youngsters, I hope you're all of you are youngsters, but as you grow in your academic or your professional ladder, you need to have a complete picture of your administrative skills, your people management skills. You should understand what goes into your other support groups also. Like, for example, you have a purchase department, a finance, an HR department. What are the things that are happening internally? It gave me that insight, and I feel I was richer as a person, and it helps me hold the position that I'm holding, where I need to have certain amount of administrative skills also. So everything is welcome. Don't push anything as not this, not my area. It might open up new avenues. And to be just coming to one point, which I should mention to all of you, these days organizations are looking at a lean personality kind of a thing, lean organization, in the sense one person is expected to deliver multiple roles. I am a developer, I am a marketing person, I am I should be able to dab a little bit of finance and HR to the extent of what is required for my job. So it is like the industry is moving to a leaner professional, leaner kind of culture. So earlier, when you say I'm a master of something and a jack of something, a jack of all arts was considered a menial thing, and a master of something was considered to be something very high. But now things are slowly reversing. All industries would like to have people who are jack of all trades. Except, of course, when you start off as a core R&D professional, maybe you don't need to be a jack of all trades. But I think everywhere else, if you are a jack of all trades, it helps.
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I request all of you to switch on the camera for a picture, please? Raju, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a very engaging session, completely packed with the information. I mean, it was also real time because you related it to CDAC and you told all the trends. And I'm sure it was very, very useful. And your presentation was engaging and the flow was there. Very, very seamless. And you had a real positive energy and vibe, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks
Thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much for whoever was listening. Thank you so much for your patient listening at this time of the day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening. Uh, Participants, thanks a lot. We'll catch up again tomorrow for the next session. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.